All right, guys, it's time for another episode of the RN group chat. Sam will be in here in just a moment. It's so funny, bro.
Anything.
Because you just look so drained. Good God.
I'm
No,
extremely
I'm
drained.
sorry.
People think I don't do
I'm
anything all day.
sorry.
That I just sit in my office and read a book or something. That's what they think I do.
Isn't that what y'all do then? Isn't that what
Yeah,
management does?
that's it. That's all I do.
Just like nurses play cards out there on the floor and that
Yeah.
we only just wipe ass and
Yeah.
pass out Tylenol?
Stethoscopes are just decorations.
That's what I heard anyway. That's what everybody assumes that we do anyway.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I
So what do
just
you want to talk about today?
sit in the office over there, just look at ways to fuck up people's schedules.
Ah, I believe it because my shit stays fucked up.
Ever. You have a nice schedule. I don't care. Whatever you want to talk about.
I don't care. God. This is what comes with having such a nonchalant friend, you guys. And with that being said, I guess we'll talk about friendship. So,
Uh,
growing up, did you have like a lot of friends?
no,
That's why you're so weird.
probably.
I didn't have many friends growing up either, though. So, or if I did have friends, it was I didn't really have a lot of female friends. It's more guy friends.
I had one really good friend from like probably kindergarten on up till I don't know middle school, but then like
Hmm.
watching how she kind of treated guys, just I don't like that shit. So kind of stopped being friends with her. Um, and then I was friends with a group of other girls, but most of them moved off. And I mean, I know this is shocking, but I'm not really that outgoing of a person to try to make new friends.
Ooh, big
So
shocker.
yeah. So then a lot of my friends ended up being guys, and then this one girl that was like dating one of the guys I was friends with would start saying I was a whore, because I had a bunch of guy friends and stuff. So
Yeah.
I ended up getting in a fight with her in the locker room, which didn't win me any more friends either.
They're probably like, that bitch is crazy. We do not want to be friends with her.
Well, I mean, at the time I wasn't sleeping with anyone. I
Yeah.
mean, she was. I was like, how you gonna call me a hoe? You've been with the whole football team. You just started school here.
Wild behavior, bro. Wild behavior.
I know.
No, like growing up, I did have a few like childhood friends, but I feel like we kind of either outgrew each other as we got like to middle school, or either they moved to different schools. So that kind of ended those. And then in high school, um, a girl that me and her were friends for a little while, and then we get to high school, and this boy that she liked me and did not like her, and she got all like upset about it because
Yeah.
he wanted to talk to me and didn't want to talk to her. And I was just like, I'm not here for the drama. I don't really care. He ain't even cute. But because she pissed me off, I dated him anyway.
Um. Yeah. Most everybody. I mean, I didn't date a lot of people. In school and all. So. I really just. I hung out. So my boyfriend in high school, his name was Joey, and I just hung out with him and his friends. And I dated him pretty much the entirety of high school. So I hung out with him and his friends, and that was it. And we always did cool stuff. Like we would go fishing or mud bogging or, things like that were a little bit more fun, for
Yeah,
me.
that's fun.
That's what I like to do. Um, and so, of course, like a lot of their girlfriends didn't like doing things like that. So a lot of them were kind of prissy. But,
Really?
yeah.
I could see that. I could see that though.
And then And then when Joey and I started having a falling out, then those were his friends, you know. But he, one of
Yeah.
his friends had started dating this girl, and of course the guy that Joey had dated at the time started telling them that I had a crush on that guy, which I did not. And so then that guy, his girlfriend, mad at me, so she really wouldn't even talk to me anymore. Things like that. But it's just a whole bunch of drama, and so
Yeah.
I tend to stay away from people.
Yeah, same. And then even then, like that's when I after that whole drama situation with that girl is when me and Paxton honestly became best friends. Probably my ninth grade year of high school. I know a lot of people hear me talk about my best friend from like high school. Um, but yeah, me and her pretty much grew up together, like going through high school.
Well, I don't know. I just never really related to females too much because most of them, one, they like girly shit, and two, they're just start a bunch of drama.
Yeah, I
So
agree with that.
I
Same.
never,
And that was like, I think that's why me and Paxton bonded so much because both of us had a lot of male friends. So a lot of the time when we were around each other, it was a lot of our male friends as well. And we kind of just stayed out of the drama and shit. We like to do tomboyish shit. Just put
yeah.
it that way.
Well, I grew up with my cousins and my siblings being my best friends. You know, like um,
Oh yeah.
we all did rodeos together and live shows livestock together, things like that. So that's who I kind of hung out with, and there would be, you know, some people at the rodeos you would see that you kind of would make friends with, but it wasn't anything like, you know, we weren't calling and spilling our guts to each other and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
but
So do you feel like there's a difference between like friendships you made like back then and like friendships you make in adulthood?
yeah, I think so because I don't. I mean, of course, I wouldn't even still consider these people my friends.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, we're friends on Facebook, but that's it.
We Facebook friends.
Yeah.
I got
Um,
these virtual nieces and nephews.
I just think that the friendships that I've made as an adult have been a little, I guess, longer lasting. Which at my other job, I had a couple of friends, but I always felt like I was the odd person out, if that makes sense, because I didn't.
Yeah.
Most of them had kids or was married, and I wasn't at the time. And then, honestly, when Josh and I got married, I mean, he's just been my best friend for the last almost 12 years now. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
That makes sense. And I can understand that. But I do think there is a difference because, like, for instance, with me and Paxton, of course, we grew up together. We got to see each other, like, grow from, like, being childish, which I don't want to say that we were ever childish because neither one of us had, like, an actual childhood. I feel like we both grew up pretty fast. But, like, we actually got to see each other, like, mature a lot more. We went to college together, all these things. But also, we live about 2 hours apart. So I don't get to see her every day like I used to. But she did. I mean, she did get to see me go through some pretty hard stuff growing up. So I feel like me and her have that bond. But also with my relationships or friendships I made like in adulthood, like people have gotten to meet like this version of me, not like the initial broken version, as I like to call it. So I do think those friendships are different.
it is. But I also know that, like, people change. I feel like the older you get, the more you change and stuff. And
Oh yeah,
now
for
I'm
sure.
kind of at the age that I'm kind of done changing that much. I feel like I ain't got it in me to be changing all the time anymore.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to always stand up for what I feel like is right, like morally. And I feel like I've lost a lot of friends for that because what they do or practice is not something I can align with. And I will cut ties quick for stupid shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be friends with somebody who treats like their boyfriends or husbands or whatever terribly. Like I'm not gonna do that. Like if you don't want to be with them, just
Yeah.
divorce them. Like, there's no sense.
Exactly.
emotionally playing with people. It's just wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
But
agree.
yeah, I definitely feel like that kind of lost me a lot of friends. Some of the guys that I was friends with, they ended up moving off, and them did too. So, but yeah, my senior year of high school is when I started. Well, Joey and I have broken up, so I had to go through.
Mhm.
Sometime during my high school year, and so then that was all I really hung out with. When he was in town, because he was older than me, so he worked out of town, and
Mhm.
so honestly, I would just hang out with him, and then if he wasn't home, I would just be at home, like, or at the farm. Like, I just didn't really do anything. I baled a lot of hay that year. But yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, honestly though, like I don't think I mean I had a few people that I would talk to when we went to like school events or like if like we had an after school club doing something. Like there were a few people I would talk to. I didn't consider them like close friends at all. And then let's see, college. I mean, I had people I associated with, people that I partied with, but I wouldn't consider them friends either. My hospital job,
yeah,
and I was like initially like I'm very quiet. Like I don't even, well, honestly, let me put it this way: I'm not very quiet. I'm just like reserved if I don't know you. Like I try to fill
yeah,
out the lay of the land and try to figure out who's loyal, who I can actually tell something to, who I've actually seen break the rules. You know, just different things like that. So it took me a while to talk to people at my job because I kind of just sat back and watched, observed a lot.
yeah. I can see that. I just went in with a mentality that I was just here to do a job, and I'm usually quiet anyway.
Yeah,
Like I don't talk a lot most of the time, so that wasn't really it wasn't for a certain reason. It's just I don't like talking to people.
I know. I remember when we first started working together. I feel like we were always in that back hall
Yeah,
together, and I feel like we were so quiet for a very long time.
yeah. But we got shit done.
We got our shit done, bro.
We did.
We did get our shit done. That was one thing
Like
I could say. Sam's a hard worker. I
yeah,
don't know shit about her, but she a hard worker.
yeah. But I just say like being back in that area, like that was some of the best nursing days of my life. Like you just had your little patients. If you had you a good
Same,
nurse to work
same.
with, man, y'all knock out them 8 rooms, and you just be back there sitting, with nothing else to do. But like,
Chilling.
yeah.
Yeah.
So working with like Nick and Corey and Miss Debbie, she's probably one of my favorites to work with back there.
Oh,
She would
Miss
keep me
Debbie.
rolling.
I know. Miss Debbie, I loved her. And I loved working back there with Corey. He was probably one of my favorites too. Corey and Miss Debbie, oh my gosh. And then of course you. But I feel like every time we worked together back there, we were doing CPR.
Much. Anytime you had that room assignment, I was like, here we go. Make sure that crash cart's nearby. We gonna use it.
Ah, for sure. I don't know what it was about that room assignment, but that specific room, it was just
Yeah,
like I could not have that room. It just I don't know.
yeah, rough. But like I remember Miss Debbie, she could get any IV. I feel like she was great at IVs, but she was always slow at the
She
computer.
was
And
great
so
at it.
anytime we would work together, she's like, "You get all the triages, I'll do everything else." I'm like, "Okay,
It was me and
yeah,
Corey.
yeah." I mean, but man, we get some stuff done. Like it's just quick. It'll be done.
For real. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I understand. Like, I feel like the teamwork back then, even like, I mean, I can feel a difference. And I really do think it was because of like, I don't know if it was like because of experience or if it was because of like, I knew I could trust these people, you know?
Yeah, but now nobody assigns two back there anymore. It's only one person. So of course there's not going to be
True.
teamwork. There's nobody to be a team with. There's only one person back there.
That's true.
So I really feel like that's
That
part
is
of the
true.
problem is that everybody's so like focused on their own thing that they're not looking at their neighbor to see if they can help them. And we
Yeah.
used to have it a sign where there would be two people back there, so nobody was like by themselves. But it ain't like that no more. Everybody's just by themselves in their own little hole, doing their own little thing. So I
True.
do that. Even when I charge now, I'll put two people back there. Even if it's an
Yeah.
LPN with them, I don't care. I just put two people back there. There's no sense for people to have to work by themselves with as many staff members as we have now.
Yeah, and I get
Not
that.
every day.
And sometimes, true, I agree with that. And you know, like on shorter staff days, like sometimes we have no choice but to do that. And then like on days when we're like, I think what gets me, especially from like the charge nurse role from it, is when like I get, I don't want to say this the wrong way, just edit it out if I am gonna say this the wrong way. But like when I start getting messages about cutting staff and all this other stuff, and I'm like, well, there's no reason for me to even try to do this when I'm gonna have to cut it anyway and rearrange it. Like that's just like 2 hours into it. I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, I guess, but I just feel like there's so many other areas open now that it's kind of hard to do that. But I don't know. I used to always I feel like pull from triage first. Like if I just have one triage nurse, to triage what they can, and I open every single available bed I have, including the hall spaces, then I can move more people. Just
Yeah,
logically. And
yeah,
if
that
it
makes
gets
sense.
backed up, to me, I can run up there and triage somebody a lot quicker than I can taking a room assignment and have a load myself. I just go grab triages. And now we have techs to get vital signs up front. We never had that shit. I mean, so
Oh,
it's
I
definitely
know, I
different.
know. Yeah, it is. I agree with that. I think I've gotten so bad in the mindset of like this is how I've watched all the other charge nurses do it, like since I've been back, you know. And of course, I wasn't doing the charge stuff before I left the first time, but like since I've been back, this is how all the other charge nurses do it. This is how I learned to do it. So that's all I've been kind of doing. I guess I could try to switch that up a little bit every now and then.
Yeah, I just want as many treatment spaces open as possible. And I just feel like, if everybody has their max assignment that they can have, then I can spread it out a little bit more versus two people killing themselves in triage because everybody's playing in the back already. And
Yeah.
it gives you more beds. It just gives you more spaces when you put more people back there. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I feel like it flows better that way.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I understand it. I just, like I said, it just never crosses my mind because in the back of my mind, I've already gotten a million text messages about we need to cut, we need to do this, you need to do this, this, and this, and I'm like, good God, like as if I don't already have a million other things to do. Now this is on top of my mind, this is on my mind, and like it gets overwhelming sometimes.
I could do
But aside from that, what else was I gonna ask? Oh, first impression. What was your first impression to me?
I don't know. I thought you were a good nurse and a hard worker, and that's all I really paid attention to, I guess, initially.
Yeah, same. I thought the same thing about you. I was like, dang, she quiet. But I was thinking, like, I know I'm quiet too. But I was like, dang, they put two quiet people back here. But I thought the same thing. You were quiet, but you were hard worker, good nurse.
Just get stuff done. That's always been my priority. Like, I feel like I want people to want to have fun at work, but just get your shit done, man. Like, you can
Right.
talk later. Get your stuff done.
And then I think we trauma bonded a little bit over all that CPR we had to do back there.
Yeah.
Then I think we both started working the 9 to 9 shift. So then we had to
Yeah.
kind of text each other to figure out which days were better for you, or no, which days better for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, so then we split. We didn't really get to work together that much until we got back on 7/8. Yeah.
Oh no, that sucked.
Yeah. And
Yep.
then,
And then you can go ahead and tell everybody about how I abandoned you.
well, I mean, I started charging then, so then shortly after all that, I think, and I was
Oh, that's true.
charging a lot,
Yeah,
and
you did.
you, yeah, you left me. I feel like I've already told that story though.
I did. I did leave you, but I came back.
And um, I feel like every single time we had a person go into cardiac arrest, I was pregnant, and it was miserable trying to do chest compression.
You were freaking pregnant every time. Every time it was me and you,
Yeah,
you were definitely pregnant.
every time. Boy, I'm like, oh. And people's like, you need me to take her? I'm like, no, I just need you to go get Lucas. Go get Lucas. I can do compressions. I'm not disabled.
Shit's so funny to me though. I be thinking, God damn it, here we go again. Pregnancy's
Yeah.
over there doing compressions.
I know. Well, the one that stands out to me is like when you're standing there triaging patient, and I'm like, hey, can you hand me a
Back
tissue
to
paper?
her.
And then, so you go ahead and hand me that, and I was like, I'm gonna need the ambu bag. So I grabbed the ambu bag, and by that time I was like, shit, it's too late. Call somebody else. I gotta do compressions.
No, it was so weird. He was talking.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing ever. I don't know.
And then the doctor that walks in, I'm like, oh
I blame
hell.
our yeah. I blame our charge nurse the day on that day for that because she was like, I'm so shortness of breath. He's fine.
Yeah.
Find my ass.
Still think he clotted. Good clot.
But whatever. I think he did too. But
I was just,
I don't know.
damn,
I
boy.
do enjoy the friendships. Shit was funny. I mean, it wasn't funny then, but thinking back to like how much shit we went through back there in that thing and still got our shit done, it's crazy.
Well, even so, like, the other day, when I'm, like, walking by and the dude's, like, sitting there with his arm, and I was like, well, this don't look right. And the texts are just kind of like, hey, we have somebody with a leg. And I'm like, no, tell them Sam said
Yeah.
that you need a bed. And damn arterial bleed shooting off at me. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I don't know. I'm like, of course it would be Chambria out here damn working and tracking this shit today.
No, listen, let me tell y'all about Sam because as y'all know, she's the manager. But occasionally she'll come out here on the floor and she'll help us. She'll go answer a call light, and it don't matter. She go answer the call light. Your patient's gonna go downhill. She's
Yeah.
a fucking magnet.
Well,
Ridiculous. That man would have been perfectly fine if you wouldn't have walked your ass through that waiting room.
that was bad. I was like, and then, yeah, the text just kind of sitting there, and I was like, you got some gauze? And so I found that some things. I walked around there. He moved that hand. She went, phew. I was like, oh, shit.
It was so funny though, because they didn't even say Sam said that we need a room. They were just like, "Hey, we got this guy out here that has a pretty decent lack," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me get y'all a room." And I'm trying to clean rooms back here, but then I look up. Something told me to look up at the camera,
Yeah.
and when I did, I saw you holding that man's arm up like this, and I said, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I was like, and so then I wrapped the hell out of it. I was like, ain't no way, just I was like wrapping it so tight. I was like, you ain't about to bleed out on me. Hold that arm up.
You know, honestly, I do not like take friendships lightly. Like I don't have many friends. I mean, people think that we're friends, but I do not have many friends at all.
Mm.
I can count on one hand. Hell, it ain't even my whole hand. The people that I actually consider a friend. But I do appreciate the ones that I do. Um for sure, because I knew if I were to call you, for instance, you would come in a heartbeat. Paxton, Amy,
Yeah,
because I mean, all three of y'all were like there during my little Minty B situation for sure.
yeah.
Amy
Well,
tells me all the time, we were gonna drag you out the house if we had to.
hmm, yeah. Well, like I said, I try to focus a lot of my energy on, Josh and the kids and stuff, but so I feel like that kind of, just as being a wife and a mom, that's what I need to do. And so, but anyway, yeah, I definitely the friends I do have, I don't have a lot. Like my sister is my friend, and you, and that's probably the extent of it. You know.
Yeah. And that's the thing though. I feel like as an adult, you have to understand stuff like that. Of course, like I don't have children. I don't have a husband. So I do have a lot more time on my hands. But as an adult, I understand. Like I know. You got
Yeah.
kids, you got a fucking husband. Like it's just we're fucking adults.
Yeah. Um.
So
And
that's why a lot of people don't have friends because oh, she couldn't come here and do this. Well, I mean, she's got kids and fucking husband. Of course not. What do you
yeah.
expect?
Well, I feel like Josh going to sleep so early during the week. He's usually in bed by 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So, during the
Yeah,
week I don't get to see him a lot. And so then on
yeah,
weekends, it's like our time to kind of hang out and everything. So,
yeah,
really, if you look at the amount of time that him and I get together, it's not a lot, for a week. So,
yeah. I know.
I do try to prioritize time with him on the weekend. So
As you should. And if people can't understand that, fuck them.
that's how I feel about it. Like I said, other than you and Stephanie, like I really don't talk to nobody else. That's about all. Linda Gale,
You do
not
have
every day.
another friend.
Who?
I'm just messing with you.
Well, those are my other
I mean, I feel
friends.
like you're getting text messages all the time. I'm just being funny. I'm just being funny.
That's just people that want something from me.
I know. I know. I know. Um, are you home? Okay. Well, next thing I was just gonna say is, aside from all that friendship stuff, like, what about these people? Okay, so I know for me, I'm a single woman, and I've got needs. I've got
Yeah,
needs. So I'm not gonna say that I'm a hoe or anything, but on average, how often do you think like a married couple should have sex like in a week or so?
I don't know what normal is because like Josh and I is all the time. Like I don't. I
I don't
mean,
know what normal is.
but I feel like talking to other married couples, they're like, oh yeah, about twice a month, and I'm like, what the hell? Like how do you do that? Like if I did that twice a
Twice a
month,
month.
yeah, the level of a bitch I would be, oh, it would be astronomical. Like I couldn't do it. I just
Only
don't think
twice a
these
month.
people are doing it right.
They can't be. Can't be. No, I would start twitching.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I just definitely don't think they're doing it right, or they would be having it more often.
Which I get it. You know, people have different issues, and a lot of people like suffer from different things or take different medications that could cause them to feel that way. But I don't know.
I don't know either, but like I said, I mean, normal normal for me is about 3 times a week, and so I don't understand people who's like twice a month. I'm like, oh Lord, dude.
In my mind, I'm like, fold me like a pretzel, pack me like a glow stick.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna be married or even in a relationship, you gotta make that time. I mean, you gotta have it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
But
why that's what's wrong with the world. Not enough people are getting
a
enough
happy ending.
or not having enough sex. That's the problem.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they could still be doing it, but that don't mean they're doing it right.
That's true because I have heard of people saying like people my age in their 30s who have never had like an orgasm.
I don't know how. I mean, Chat GPT that shit. Figure that shit out, boy. Like, I just,
People are like, I'm like, I fake it, and I'm like, every time, like, how do you? Okay.
well, like, that has to be so depressing. I mean, I just feel like it releases all these endorphins and it's good for you. And then maybe you don't have to be on, as many meds, 'cause you don't have as many depressive
Yeah.
episodes and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
that's just my 2 cents.
that
I
is
don't
true.
know. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. There's just so much technology and stuff now that you could literally Google it, and there's no reason for a man not to be able to find those areas with all the technology
And,
we have
but
now.
also, this is another thing. Like, even for me as a single woman, there are options.
Yeah.
Like, if I do not have a man that I am confident in, that's STD free, whatever at the time, there are plenty of toys
Yeah, there are.
that can get
I
you the
think,
same result. It ain't the same. I will say that it's not the same, but
yeah, it may not be the same, but I feel like you have to know if you're gonna like you have to know what you like to be a decent partner too. Like and then that way you
yeah, I
can
agree.
communicate it.
But I think I learned. Well, you can edit this out, whatever. I don't care. I think I really did learn a lot of what I liked from trying things
Yeah,
with people.
for sure. I mean, I think you have to do that, but you also have to be honest with them. Like, I mean, don't fake it. Just tell them they suck and try to get better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I've heard,
So what
heard a
about these
lot of
people?
feelings over the years.
Huh?
I think I've heard a lot of feelings over the
Um,
years.
yeah. I continually like I have been continuously hurting feelings, but it has not stopped this
Yeah.
one person at all. He's like, nope, I'm gonna get this right.
Well, that's good, though, that they're willing to learn or listen or whatever.
I know, but good. Never mind. I'm shut up because he might be listening. I don't know. I just want to pick your brain about that, like what you thought was normal, or like,
But what I think is normal is not what other people think is normal at all. And like I
yeah,
said, there are people that I have spoken to in the past that are married, and they're like, "Oh yeah, about twice a month." I'm like, ain't no way, ain't no way, boy.
funny to me because I can picture your face too when I give you the answer, that response.
Yeah. It's like, why?
Hell, I would think they were joking with me. Y'all gotta be fucking kidding me.
I know that there's different levels of intimacy and there's different levels of like attraction and sometimes like
Mhm.
It's a turn off if your spouse doesn't do certain things, like if they don't clean the house when they said they would, or they don't do things, like it's always a turn off. And I get that, but
Yeah.
you gotta have that relationship, or you're not gonna make it. Like I feel like that, just being together intimately helps with the other stuff too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's where a lot of like people's like relationships, like their frustrations come from too. They just ain't doing it enough. So now every little thing that they're doing is pissing you off because you're sexually
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yep.
But
Totally.
I don't know. That's just my little 2 cents. I was just gonna say if I was like the opposite sex, like I would definitely be a whore. I've thought about that a lot. If I had a penis, I would stick that thing in
Man,
everything.
I would too. I would have the fire department on speed dial to be getting me out of stuff because I would stick it in everything.
I told somebody the other day, literally, somebody delivered us some donuts um to the hospital, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? If I had a penis, I would try to stack as many donuts on that thing as I could, just to see how many I could stack up there.
I mean, if your wiener is fitting in a hole that big, that's a problem.
I, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I would just try different things with it. Like, I would try to, you know how you can like ring around the rosy, or not that, the hula hoop. I would do that with a fucking donut.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I definitely would stick it places it wasn't supposed to go. For sure. I'd just be curious what it felt like or if it would fit.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. Um, so piece of advice, all my single women: try to have an orgasm if you have not in your lifetime. It does help. Find you a good friend to talk about your orgasms with, and stay safe.
Mhm.
Huh?
I don't really have any words of wisdom today.
Oh, okay. That's fine. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.